Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is your boy Shadow FC, bringing us a brand new Fortnite Battle Royale video. And in today's video, guys, we are going to be talking about the very disappointing news that we received just a day or two ago that Late Game Arena was not only delayed, but will not be returning to Fortnite in this Chapter 3. We had it last season, and they took it out at the start of the season, Chapter 3, Season 4, and they said they said a lot of times, we are going to get it back this season, we're going to have tournaments this season, we'll have Quick Cups and Late Game Cash Cups. They delayed it once or twice, maybe, I don't even know, they delayed it a bunch of times, like 3 or 4 times, and they delayed it up until last week, and this weekend, the Late Game Quick Cups and Late Game Cash Cups were going to start. The game mode still was not in on Tuesday when the big update came out. Everyone was wondering, are they going to put it in the night of? Like, there's no way this works. They had a late game Quick Cup test tournament on EU on Thursday or Friday, I believe, and it went pretty well, but for whatever reason, they didn't add it. They took that tournament out, and now Late Game Arena has been removed from the compete tabs, and it is no longer coming for the rest of this chapter. So going back to late game, a lot of people, including myself, are very upset with Fortnite for this. Late game is one of, if not the best and most popular modes in all of Fortnite, and it was very fun last season. Obviously, last season it was a little glitched, and it wasn't perfect. There was a lot of bugs, and it was very laggy, but still, even just being back in late game, having the tournament, it was so fun being able to use the spaz in Chapter 3. Everyone was happy. Now, obviously, yes, like I said, there was the laggy problems in the servers and everything, but it was still so fun to play and so fun to get clips in it and use the spaz and just have a great time. Now, what Fortnite said originally when they took out for this season, the beginning of the season, is they just need to code it for the season and make sure it's ready and everything, which made sense that, the files and everything are the same, and when they add it back at the start of the season, or, midway through the season, it would be running properly and smoothly and that there's not going to be any bugs. However, slowly but surely, a lot of people, including myself, started to lose hope after it got delayed once and twice. People were like, okay, whatever, that sucks. Let's hope they bring it back very soon. Then it got delayed a third time, I believe, and at that point, pretty much everyone, and at that point, even the late game tournaments got delayed. So before, they were going to add late game like 2 weeks before the tournament started, but then just 2 weeks ago, I believe it was supposed to be November 1st, about 2 to 3 weeks ago, the tournaments were supposed to start. They got delayed 3 weeks back until this last weekend on the 18th and 19th when the tournaments were going to be rescheduled. So as this weekend, the 19th and 20th and 18th and everything, as that was drawing near, everyone was getting super hyped, and we all theorized that late game was going to be released on the Tuesday before the weekend, the tournament start, which Tuesday was the big update, the end of the final update of the chapter, and there was no late game. And at that point, that's pretty much when I realized we're not going to get late game this season. There's not going to be any late game tournaments, and not even the game mode in itself, because if they're not going to add it in the big update, why would they wait another day or two to add it? But then Thursday rolled around. It was Thursday or Friday, I can't remember. Thursday or Friday before the tournament started that weekend, and they had an EU tournament, middle of the day, an EU tournament of a late game arena to see how it went. I believe it was a solo test event. I don't know what game mode. I believe it was solos though, and I don't know exactly how the servers were. I heard some people say the servers were great and that it felt much better than it did last season, and other people said it felt terrible, and there was a bunch of dying off spawn glitches and staying on the Battle Royale spawn island, and you couldn't actually go to the actual map where you play. So I heard a lot of mixed reviews. I heard there was a lot of bugs from some people, and some people said it was great and it felt way better than last season. But then the next day, so I believe it was Thursday, so the Friday after that, the day before tournaments are supposed to start, everyone's wondering, when are we going to get late game? Fortnite hasn't said anything. They haven't said how the tournament went. They haven't said anything. Then that night we saw that the late game arena was removed from the compete tabs and the tournament tabs, and that there's not going to be any late game tournaments this season, which if there's not going to be any tournaments, why would they add late game? And even now, I'm recording this on the 20th, so just about 2 days ago is when we got the news that we're not going to have late game arena. So we would only have about 2 weeks. The season and chapter ends on the 3rd of December, so even if we got late game, we would only have like 2 weeks left, and it didn't really even make sense at that point for them to add it if we're only going to be able to have it for like 2 weeks. But obviously, I'm still very disappointed. I think late game would have brought a lot of people back and gotten them really hyped, because after the LAN event, everyone was super hyped for Fortnite. Everyone was talking about it coming back, and I feel like if they brought late game back, it would have brought even more people back, and people that play it, including myself, would have felt so much more hyped. And I know there's a new chapter coming out, but had they brought late game back, I feel like it would have brought even more players back. And the whole marketing thing was terrible by them, because now the final 2 weeks of this chapter are going to be super boring. No one's going to be hyped. It's going to be a lot more dry than it would be if we had late game arena. And the other bummer with that is next season we're going into an entirely new chapter and a new map. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm very excited to go into Chapter 4. I hate Chapter 3, and I'm glad it's over with. But the problem with that is Chapter 3 was Late Game Arena was invented in Chapter 2, Season 7, and Season 8. So we had it through Season 7, Booga's Late Game, then they brought it back in Chapter 2, Season 8 as just normal Late Game. When they came into Chapter 3, it took them 3 seasons to recreate Late Game and code it with this map and get it all ready to be played on this map. So if it's going to take this long, like if it's going to take that long to get it onto a new chapter, it's probably going to be another year or two before we see it in Chapter 4, because it's going to take them so long to code it and prepare all the gun files and everything with Chapter 4. I hope I'm wrong, but if it takes them the same time as it did to get it from Chapter 2 to Chapter 3, we may never see Late Game Arena again. But that is about it for today's video. I just wanted to update you all on the Late Game Arena status and that it could be another year or two before we see it again. Again, I hope I am wrong. I really do. I hope that Epic prepares it. I don't believe it's going to come right with the new chapter, but I hope that they're ready and that maybe they spent the last couple weeks coding it for the new chapter and they just knew ahead of time it's not going to come out again in Chapter 3. Maybe they've been preparing it for Chapter 4. I just hope that it comes out very early in Chapter 4. Again, it doesn't have to come out right away. We're going to have a whole new map and all these new guns to explore and everything, so I don't think they should release it right when Chapter 4 releases. I think that would be stupid, but I do think once we kind of get settled in with the new map and, get comfortable, I do think that would be a great time for them to release Late Game Arena as long as they can and as long as, it's all coded and ready. Alright guys, that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content that I will be posting, because I will be posting a ton of future content very soon. A lot of new chapter content. We have a lot of leaks and theories floating around with the event and the new chapter that's coming out. I'm going to get a lot of content around on that. Tournament gameplay is pretty much over for this season. I know I didn't really upload any as well, but I was going to get a lot of late game videos out. Obviously that's not going to happen, but a lot of content still coming out with the new chapter, so make sure to like and subscribe if you guys don't want to miss out on that. But yeah guys, thank you guys so much for watching. It's Shadow, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!